Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. And I always say that and it ends up running longer than I want it to. I'm going to try my best to just get through this pretty quick. But the main takeaway from this video is, so the next video I'm going to put out is a coin catch tutorial. And I know I've been talking about that, and the reason I've been kind of putting this off is because I don't want it to just be a tutorial showing you, okay, this is how you click long, this is how you click short, adjust your stop loss. I want it to be where the first part is a tutorial. The second part is going to be showing trading techniques. Like for instance, I'm going to show you this, what I did with these parallel channels to actually predict a point too long and short way in advance, and show you different techniques. You know, for instance, using less margin when you enter your trade to get a better entry, and then if it goes the correct way, adding margin to your trade, how to do a hedge. And obviously, and guys, listen to me, if you're trading, all right, and you're just in a hurry to make money, you're just gambling. If you're chasing a trade, some are going to make it, some are going to make money, some are going to lose money. So right off the bat, you need to be patient. You need to set up your charts, wait for that target to be hit, then enter your short, enter your long. Now when I do this video, now I'm going to be recording myself live trading. So obviously I wouldn't suggest trading anything less than 15, 30 minute. The hour and above is better. But, you know, for the purposes of this coin catch video, I'm going to probably be recording myself on the 5 minute. It should work. I probably will be losing money. But the point is I want to show you how these charts work and how you can use certain techniques to get an edge on other traders, to get these points to get in, take your profit, you know, whether it's a long or short. And I'm going to go through and show you this. I'll post this in Discord. Guys, if you want to go ahead and sign up to coin catch to be ready for this new video I put out, the link to sign up is pinned in the first comment and description. Guys, when I create an account, you have two options. You can use your email or a phone number. I always choose email. You can use two-factor authentication, you know, with Google, and you can also use your phone as two-factor authentication. My choice, I use email. So again, that's up to you. It is no KYC. But again, if you want to sign up, create an account and be ready, then when that video is up, you can follow along, not just how to trade futures on CoinCatch, but also, again, I'm going to share with you techniques to find points to long and short, and as well as techniques to help you, again, be more profitable and lose less. That is the point. You're not going to win every trade, but if you're patient, you will win more than you lose. But again, if you don't practice patience, you're just gambling, and I want to cover that as well. So that video will run long, but again, I will probably put a timestamp in there so you'll know, the first part is the tutorial, and then the next part is more trading techniques and how to use the tools to your advantage. So I just want to go through and just show. So again, this is our Discord. This is under Optical Art Updates. So this is where I make all the updates about the charts. And again, if you want to sign up to get access to these live charts, guys, you can. The website is opticalartcrypto.com. Links pinned in the first comment description. If you do sign up, make sure you email me through the website to get access to Discord. A lot of people forget to do that. I have tutorials teaching how to create the fib channel charts. But in the next video, I will show you how you can use these parallel channels to find targets. And just as an example, and we'll go to the chart. So I want to show you how I did this. I'll be covering this in a video soon. If you get creative using parallel channels, to give you an edge for scalping. And what I did is basically, I'm explaining it to you now, but I will show you in the actual video. So guys, if you want to go ahead and subscribe now, go ahead and do that so you don't miss when I put this video up. And also, guys, if you want to leave a like, I appreciate it. Last video, you guys left like 3,000 likes. I was absolutely blown away. I've never seen that many likes on a video. So thank you for that, guys. And if you can keep hitting the likes, much appreciated. So basically what I did was, you got a wick here, you got a wick here. I just created a parallel channel. And what I did was, once I had the parallel channel matching these wicks, I just pulled it down, and I pulled it down. Notice the dotted line, I had this white arrow pointing down, white arrow pointing up. This was resistance, this was support. This gave us this line right here. Finding the bottom of this where you could long is just almost impossible, but this is a technique that I've been using. Not only does it help me create my fib channel charts, which I will be adding to my tutorial section, but you can use it just to trade on its own. So as you can see, when I created this parallel channel from this point to this point, it gave me this dotted line. Now I can pull this channel up and down, and this dotted line will move. Well, I moved it to where this was resistance, this was support, and in doing that, gave me this support level too long. And then I was just talking more about, this is for scalping. It works better on the higher time frames. You can see I added a new parallel channel. Notice I went from this wick here to this wick here. And then I pulled it down, and notice this dotted line in this direction, you can clearly see that's resistance, support, support, and then that gave us further confluence for a point too long. And notice this blue line is, well, again, that is a fib line. That is a very key level, but we have confluence also with these parallel channels. Again, to learn how to create the fib channel charts, you have to watch my tutorials. But again, in that coin catch video, I will cover how to use these parallel channels, and it is amazing for finding points to get in and out. And I'm going to show you that right now in Discord, and then go to the chart. So I covered that. So as you can see, just having a little fun and I'm working on new charts, and I was actually adding to the H1 chart, showing people how to find these points. So I had that first parallel channel that you saw. The dotted lines were here. That gave us this point right here, right? And then this one right here gave us this point right here. Well, I took the same point, that wick up here, the wick up here, created another parallel channel right on top of this one, and pulled it down to where the dotted line was right here, where all of this resistance was. Resistance, 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 right? Well, that gave us this point down here. It also it showed us that this is a key level price has been respecting. And that was just coming from the top two wicks. So this told me, well, we have our blue fib channel line that was support repeatedly. A lot of crazy wicks up and down with support here. Well, we had this line and we had this line in this direction. So this told me that this would be a likely point too short. And then I said, just to clarify, I want to make sure that everybody understood what I was saying. Just to clarify, 58,200 area looks like an ideal point to scalp a short. It can go either way, guys. However, if we push above and hold support, that would be a long signal. So your point too long was down here. We had confluence. We had double support. We pushed up. So I said 58,236 would be a point to open a scalp short or open a short. And we pushed up. I'll cover Render and Solana into this video. If you listen to what I said previous videos, that was about a 25-30% short. But as you can see, and here's the test, we pushed up and we hit that literally to the tick. I was saying around 58,242. I was a little upset because we actually hit at 58,239. I was off. I said, damn, I wanted to get the exact number. Sorry, guys, I was off by a couple dollars. But that was a perfect entry for a short. And again, I actually showed how I did this. But again, in the video, I will show you how I create this live so you can kind of see. But again, using parallel channels is amazing for finding targets. That, in addition with fib channel charts, is pretty accurate as well. We see we got rejected, right? And this is why I said I like creating charts with lines at multiple angles. When you have confluence, you have a blue line in this direction, you have this parallel channel in this direction for the confluence to go on a short. And notice that this line became support, right? The bottom of this parallel channel became support. And later on, it'll come in handy because that actually becomes resistance. And it was covering heat maps, book maps, guys. Just go to go to YouTube and just type in Bitcoin book maps, and you can see liquidity. Bitcoin is like a magnet. It wants to take out that liquidity. That's how exchanges make their money. So you can see another rejection so far. So we had two rejections. Got rejected here, came all the way down to support, pushed up, got rejected. And this was the next hourly candle open. Ideal point to short. And you can see what happened. And a nice rejection it was. We got rejected right at this point, came down, and you can see now we're going to cover this in just a minute. In my opinion, Bitcoin has flipped, and again, it flipped bearish. In my opinion, and I'm going to cover this. I covered this in the previous video. I'm going to show you why that's the case. That has to do with the weekly. But you can see what happened. I changed this. This is the bottom of that fib channel. It says bottom of fib channel flipped as resistance. You see right here where this arrow is. I put it on the 30 minutes so you can see it better. Well, we came down, found perfect support using that parallel channel with this dotted line here. Perfect support, pushed up. Now that channel that was support, right? Perfect support flipped as resistance, and we came down. And then I made a post about, we were dropping. We were already close to a major support level. This is fib channel line. You can see there's two lines here, so there's a very strong support level. But we made contact with the bottom Bollinger Band on the daily, so that might be a point to take profit. Key support levels for now. Take note, we made contact with the bottom Bollinger Band on the daily D1, so we pushed up from that point. And take note of this line right here that, when price dropped, it pretty much ignored it as support, even though that was a level to pay attention to based on how it created these parallel channels. And if you'll notice, when price pushed up from the bottom Bollinger Band, while it was ignored as support, it was respected as resistance. So again, this is what I try to do, is try to teach not only, I try to show people how to do this for themselves, to find these points, to long and short. So, I'm not just saying, hey, enter short here, enter long here. I'm trying to show you and teach you how to do this stuff. So in that video, I will be covering techniques, there's other techniques too. There's ways you can do, you'll basically, parallel channels are your best first option, but there are other ways I'm going to show in that video. So again, this is why I've been putting it off, because it's not going to be just a tutorial video. It's going to be a kind of a trading technique video as well. But as you can see, when I created these fib channel lines, this was your point too long. You see we got a perfect rejection at 58,235. We came down, found support right on this parallel channel, pushed up, got rejected, we came down. And notice right now, we just broke above this resistance. Price is pushing up. So you can see we're getting rejected right now at this parallel channel at 57,262. So obviously, if we push above that, well, you know that this is going to be your next resistance. This is only 1 hour. This is going to be around, depending when we make contact, what, 58,000. And we know that this is going to be very strong resistance because this is a fib channel line, this blue line here. So notice we're getting rejection here. This would be a point to open a scalp short. Once you broke above this point, this would be a point to open a scalp long. So we're probably getting some chop sideways. We did hit the bottom Bollinger Band on the dailies, but I want to just show you that there are methods to find these points to long and short. If you're patient, you can be profitable. I want to cover, so in the previous video, I talked about this chart. Now, this is the D1 chart, and this was the 1st of September. I was just talking about, pay attention. This is the weekly. See if we get a weekly open below. Now, this has happened previously, and I did cover that. If you'll notice this line right here, this is on the weekly, I think. Let me just confirm that. Let me go to this chart here. Let's see. Okay, this is the daily. Macro top and bottom is the weekly. Okay, so this is on the weekly, and this is what I was showing. We've only had a few times. This was a resistance. You notice, well, okay, I was just showing support and resistance. When I come down here, you see what I'm talking about. So we got a weekly open below that red line. And this is what I talked about in that previous video, that if we get a weekly open below, now it has happened previously, and I was showing this here. We got a weekly open below here. We did push back above. We got a weekly open below here. We did push back above. But that's only happened twice. Notice it's all wicks, all wicks, all wicks. Meat of the candle is always above. Well, this just happened. And remember that red line was the last major key support level before potentially we could have a major move to the downside. And this was what I was pointing out. We opened below, we pushed back up. We open below, we push back up. We open below here, so if we get rejected at this point, we continue down, we could be looking at a serious move, and I'm pointing this out. Now, it just so happens that this actually was a weekly open above. We pushed up and then we dropped. My point is this is a key level. It's our last level. Remember the yellow, orange, and red line. So it looks like, and this is what I was just covering for that chart. So it looks to me, right now, just going by this, and this is on the weekly, all right? So you can see what I was talking about. All of these are just wicks, but this right here, this is the only, let's see, this is one time we got a weekly open below, we pushed back above, all that the meat of the candle was above this point. This is a point where we broke it and had a major drop below the center Bollinger Band on the weekly. And notice over here, right, this was the point where I made that video saying, look, if we get above this point, and expect us to go parabolic, because this is where these three lines, the yellow, orange, and red line, all converge. We did get a rejection right there. Once we pushed above it, Bitcoin went parabolic. This is the second time, right here, that we actually got a weekly open below and we pushed back above. It was right at the bottom Bollinger Band. Notice the bottom Bollinger Band is now way below this point. So now we've broken all three of these major support levels. Actually, this was that video I said to short up at 60, it's close to what, 65,000? Now we are below this point. And that point right now to pay attention to, and I'll use this more as a reference, not an exact point too long or short, but as long as we stay below 58,660, guys, I think we have a lot more downside. And that's what I was showing in that post in Discord right up here. I mean, we once we're below it on the weekly, I mean, that's when it flips bearish. And I did cover that in that video. If you want to go back and watch it, it's this one here. I'll put a link up to it now. I did give you targets below. So I covered that if we continue down, I gave you likely points and timing for a potential bottom. So do watch that video. And actually, it's this chart here. So right now, this is your key resistance, 58,715. And again, this is where you should have shorted up around 64, 65K. We know that our support level, if this is a pattern we're in, is down around 52,000. And as I mentioned, these lines right here, which is a previous pattern we were in, right? You can clearly see that. It was a lot of resistance, support, support, resistance, support, support, resistance, came back down, perfect support. So now we have those two lines as potential points to catch a bounce or long, right? But if it continues sideways for a while, that's a lot of support. Not only do you have this support level here, right? You also have this support level here. You have our previous support from that pattern will be support. You have previous resistance flipped as support, which will also be support. So that is a lot of confluence for a very strong point to enter a long. Now, if this breaks and becomes resistance, well, that's a lot of support that's broken. I think that's why a lot of people are bullish if we drop down to a 48K. But if that became resistance, that is when that video, that last video I put up, comes into play, where I gave you those potential targets and prices and timing to hit those targets. So do watch that last video. Again, so check out that video. I'm trying to just go through this, guys. I just want you to know that the next video I put out will be a tutorial, not just how to use CoinCash to trade, but a tutorial on how to be more profitable when you trade. This is the D1 chart. Again, this is on the daily. Take note. That's why I made that post. We made contact with the bottom of the Bollinger Band on the daily. And your current support on the D1 chart is right here at 56,926. All right, so if it come down, that'd be a point too long. Now, as I've said before, while this is on the daily, I use it on the weekly as well. This is that orange line up here, around 65,300. This is the red line. The yellow line is way the hell up there. All right, so I told you I'm bearish below this point. All right, below this orange trend line. Take note, that's up here where the top Bollinger Band is on the daily. But I would use this red line as more of a reference, not necessarily too long and short. What you're paying attention to is this fib channel line in this direction. So if we push up, maybe we test 59,005 at 28. Take note, the center Bollinger Band on the weekly will be doing something like this. So if we did push up, that'd be confluence for a point to short. Obviously, if we get back above and hold support, well, then we're probably headed up to the top Bollinger Band on the weekly. But I just want to make sure you have those targets. The next horizontal support just above that is around 68,421. Let me go back, just make sure you give this key levels in each one chart. So see, we're pushing above this point, so the next point to pay attention to, and you can just clearly see this dotted line. There's been a lot of resistance. Yes, we have pushed above it, but we come back below. So we could push up. If we do, again, at 57,262 now becomes support, all right? Well, then pay attention to 57,955, but your most key resistance will be this fib channel line around 58,358. All right, so we covered all that, gave you those targets. Want to cover a render. I told you I'm creating new charts. I'm going to be recording myself showing these charts. Now I'm going to show you that now in the next video, again that CoinCash video, I will be showing you how I use these parallel channels. But I also use these parallel channels to create my fib channel charts. It's made it a lot easier to do this. That will be under the tutorial section soon. But I told you guys that a point too short, and you can see why, was 6.41. This was the next key resistance level. You see it was a lot. It's hard to tell, but when you create a fib channel chart, it gives you an advantage where you have multiple lines in different angles. So if you hit one at the same point, where you can see how much confluence there is with that line, at least with price action, why that would be a point to short. Now we did push above it a bit, but the immediate candle stayed below this point and we started dropping. The next key support was down around this area here and here. That was this video I put up, Bitcoin price analysis, blah blah blah. I'll put a link to this video now. But your point to short was 6.44. Next support was 5.47. We came all the way down here. So this was a key area to short based on this line. And you can see how much we dropped. If you shorted that point, right, 6.38, you can see we made perfect support with this line. And there's not much interaction with this line in other places. You can see right here this line. But the reason price respected that line is because it's based on fib channels, and that's just Fibonacci numbers. Once you create a channel a certain way, or once you create these charts a certain way, it gives you targets that other people would not be able to find. So your point to go long was when you make contact with this point. Your point to short was up here around 6.38, and your point to long is around 4.61. Obviously, if we break below 4.51, well, then you have targets below. Like, for instance, you potentially get a bounce here around 4.12. And your next major, most macro support is going to be down around, it's a little bigger, down around $3.64 to $3.50. And if you zoom out and you look at it, you will see why. Let me do this real quick. And again, guys, all my videos run long. I apologize. But you can see that this has been a very, this has been a very key level right here, right? This is also a key level. We haven't got below that point yet. So you can see why these are key levels. We have a fib channel line in this direction, and you have this fib channel line in this direction. So right now, $4.54 is a key support level. And your next point to potentially short, if we pushed up, would be up around $5.19. You get above that, well, then you pay attention to the fib channel line just above that, around $5.62. And we know that this is going to be a key resistance level. You get above that, well, your next target above would be this one, up around $7.32. But basically, just looking left is how you find out. Just look at the previous price action, and you can see how price respects these lines. This is resistance up here. You see this is perfect support, perfect resistance. We're also respecting these fib channel lines in this direction. Perfect support right here. So again, these are fib channel charts in combination of these parallel channels. It's a game changer. This is a Solana chart, and just want to give you just some targets. Now, we tested, this is the daily. This is resistance. Looks like we're going to push above it. The potential Bollinger Band for Solana is around 142. So pay attention to see if we get above that. It looks like your next major resistance, and this is just a trend line, guys. There's all kinds of ways to do technical analysis. Trend lines, parallel channels, fib channels, moving averages. But we do know that if we push up, it looks like 160 would be a great point to short. That's the top Bollinger Band. You got your resistance level up there. Central Bollinger Band is around 142. And we are pushing above. This is a fib channel line, right? So this is resistance. Again, this is Solana, by the way, guys. A lot of support and resistance, almost made support. And you can see now we're pushing above that. So it looks like your current support level, if we hold, is right here around $132. However, if we do drop and that becomes resistance, your next key support, and this is what's crucial about this Solana chart. You see this little red line? This is a fib channel line right here, right? That's a fib channel line. I just had that red line outlining that to show the significance of it. So you got a fib channel line that price will be respecting, and you can see that right here. Perfect support, perfect support. And you have another fib channel line, right? You have this fib channel line. Let's see. That was that support. So this is your next fib channel line below. So we know if we drop below that point, all right, so that's double support. So if we come down, a nice point to long Solana would be around 106. And if that breaks, well, then your next support level, right? You just go back, you look left. Well, we know the price got stopped at this point, so this would be the next point. So again, that's the purpose of these fib channel charts. As price moves along, I add to them. But in the next video, again, CoinCatch tutorial / trading techniques, whatever, I will go into detail about different techniques. But again, guys, remember, you have to be patient. If you chase trades, now you could have chased this long, you could have just gone long and rode it up and made some money. The next time you might chase a trade, it might go the correct way and then turn around and go the wrong direction. So, you know, it is very tempting to chase a trade. You can make a lot of money doing that, but I find it better just to wait for the target to be hit. So you're already ready, you have your entry, you have your margin, you have your leverage, you know where your stop's at, and then you're ready to pull the trigger. You know, chasing a trade, it's up to you how you like to trade, but that's what I want to share in that video. So again, if you do want to sign up for CoinCatch, you know, that link's pinned in the first comment description, and I do have 2 other links in there. They're no BitUnix is no KYC. BingX again is KYC, but it's a great exchange. So if you don't mind doing KYC, I would suggest doing that one. There is an option. Well, I'll cover that in the tutorial, guys. I don't want this to run longer than it has. But again, guys, if you want to sign up to get access to our Discord, it is $49 a month to get access to Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, and metals, and Discord. Make sure if you do sign up, it is via PayPal. Make sure you email me after so I can send you the Discord invite link. I do have tutorials teaching my charting method. I'll be adding new videos to this soon, showing how I refined my method to create this 50-channel charts using parallel channels. But you will learn about parallel channels in the next video. But guys, that pretty much covers it. These are just your key levels on the hourly. And remember, like I said, you know, as long as we are below, especially on the weekly, as long as we're below 58,660, then everything I mentioned in that previous video about potential bottom targets, I think will play out. I think as long as we're below this red line, I think things have changed, and I think we're looking at a lot of downside. That does not mean we can't chop for a while, but I think things have flipped bearish. So guys, that's it. Look for the next video. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.